Main event time. This match is probably the one match in WWE that I've been looking forward to for a long time. This is going to be a lot of fun. Since this match was first announced, I was thinking, man, this is going to be cool. This is going to be really something. Brock Lesnar going up against Kofi Kingston. Of course, as of right now, it is being promoted as Brock Lesnar's first match since losing the championship at WrestleMania 31, where Lesnar was cashed in on and lost to Seth Rollins. This will be his first match since then. I know that Lesnar had a match against Rollins, but Rollins basically ran out of the arena as fast as he could in order to keep his championship. That was the night after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw. But this will probably be the first match to have a finish. And I know that a lot of people thinking that Brock versus Kofi is just going to be a squash where Brock beats Kofi in a matter of minutes. I'd like to see a match where basically Brock killed Kofi in the matter of the first few seconds and then basically just drug him around the ring and just basically showed the world how big and bad Brock Lesnar is, where he just continued to throw him around as a beaten and bruised man, just putting the beating on him, trying to show that he cared about losing the WWE Championship and he wants to climb up the ranks. Brock versus Kofi opens the doors to a lot of things that could go down. Of course, with the Money in the Bank match, I was picking Kofi Kingston to get the win because I thought this match was going to mean more to the WWE. I thought maybe, Kofi and the New Day guys would capture the Money in the Bank, and then Brock would basically take the beating to Kofi as a way of saying that he wanted to basically be the number one contender and get a shot to go after Rollins sooner than later. But Brock is the number one contender that was granted to him by Triple H on Monday Night Raw, where he now has a match against Rollins at Battleground. It's going to be one-on-one. Hopefully they're going to set the stage where there's nowhere to run for Seth Rollins from Brock Lesnar, and he's going to have to stay into the ring, and he's going to basically have nowhere to go. But there's a lot of fun things that they could do with Brock versus Kofi. Of course, Kofi is the guy that has always found ways to work in spots in order to get him over no matter what the match is, whether if it's the Royal Rumble and he gets thrown out of the ring and he gets carried around by the Adam Rose group and he gets to jump back in, or we've seen him basically thrown out of the ring, land on Rusev, and Rusev beat him up and put him on top of the guardrail where his feet never touched and he had to jump back. Basically, he's been thrown out of the ring onto the announce table and have been forced to jump back. He's done a lot of spots, which a lot of people think that are really cool. I would hope that they protect the F5, but you could see some sort of acrobatic move by Kofi Kingston. Maybe early in the match, Brock goes for the F5 to kill it, and Kofi finds some way to sort of, reverse out of it and do some sort of a crazy spin move. Of course, if Kofi's going to be there, you know that the New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods are going to be there, and what kind of three-way spots can they do? From being a fan of Big E Langston and talking about him a lot, I know that he's stuck in this New Day group, and I'm hoping that he can grow to get somewhere. Basically, I think a year ago, they were treating Big E Langston like he was a future main eventer. He was tag teaming with CM Punk and John Cena. I hope that wasn't 2 years ago, because it seems like yesterday to me when this guy was the Intercontinental Champion. He was being involved in Monday Night Raw main events, and it seemed like he was going to be there. I really look at this guy and think that he's a future world champion, definitely by not having those two big belts, by having your WWE Championship and your World Heavyweight Championship. It holds back a lot of people. I know that people look at the World Heavyweight Championship like it is a lesser title, but, when people held it, it was almost like what the Intercontinental Championship meant back in the 90s. It still elevated you above everybody else. It made you seem like WWE really did care about you. And by not having that belt, it hurts guys like Sheamus, Dean Ambrose, Big E Langston, Cody Rhodes. These are guys that could be getting elevated, but instead they're just stuck in these, Monday Night Raw and pay-per-view battles where it's like, I'll beat you here and then you beat me there. No one's really going over. It's just 50-50 booking where I'll beat you today and you can beat me tomorrow. So you only look good for a limited matter of time. But Brock wrestling in Japan is a really, really big deal. Brock versus Kofi should be a lot of fun. If I had a farm, I would bet the farm that there's no way in the world Brock Lesnar is losing this match. I don't see any members of the Shield. There's no Roman Reigns. There's no Dean Ambrose. There's no Seth Rollins on here. So as far as I could tell, there is not going to be any outside interference. I don't even think that the WWE is sending the announcers there. I think they're going to be doing it Bound for Glory style, where basically whoever is announcing the show, whether if it's the normal NXT announcers are going to be announcing the NXT match, or maybe it's Cole and the King, Booker T, the normal group of guys, JBL, if that's who's announcing it, they're going to be announcing it from WWE Studios in Stamford. They're not even going to be out there on the trip. But this should be a lot of fun. This whole show, Brock versus Kofi, is going to be going down 2:30 in the morning. WWE Network. Don't miss this, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you do, it's always going to be on demand. But you're probably going to see the spoilers first thing when you wake up.